Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a solo run on the Legend Lost sector, the bunker E15 with Titan. For my loadout, I'll be using the Behemoth, Statis, Titan. So these are my abilities, but mainly I highly recommend you use the grenade called the Dust Field Grenade. If you do not have this grenade, I highly recommend you go on your warlock, titan, or hunter to unlock it. This grenade is very good for overload champions, which you will see very soon. For the fragment I use, which you don't have to use at all, I use the Whisper of Endurance, where the slow from your abilities lasts longer. For my load, I'll be using Witherhoard for my DPS. Next, I'll be using the Stars in Shadow. With Opal weapon, it'll be the anti-barrier weapon. Next, I'll be using Fallen Guillotine for DPS as well. For my helmet, I use Sword Ammo Finder, Shield Break Charge, and I also use Discipline mod, even though it says stat increase, so I'll just tell you it's disciplined. So for my gauntlets, I'll be using the Icefall Mantle. You don't have to use this. This is just me just to mess around, experiment with this exotic. This is where you can create a suit of ice armor. So you'll be getting an overshield over 20 seconds, but I'll talk about that later. Now, of course, I'll be using Discipline mod again. It says stat increase, but it's disciplined. With grenade launcher loader and anti-barrier pulse rifle with taken charge. Next, I'll be using a concussive dampener with arc damage resist with the swift charge and pulse rifle scavenger. Next, I'll be using discipline mod again with traction, which you don't need to use if you don't want to. This is just me with grenade launcher, scavenger, and high energy fire. Lastly, I'll be using discipline mod, thermal overload, and surge eater, and of course charge up. So there's gonna be an overload champion in the middle of the room. First, I wanted to take down the sniper that was on top of the platform, and now I'm going to use my overshield, ice armor, and then throw a grenade and take down the overload champion. Now, when using this gauntlets exotic, right, when they do damage you, the shield does get extend back to 20 seconds. The bad thing about using this exotic is you can't sprint and you cannot double jump. So you can see here I'm using the sword to gain momentum. So yes, this was just an experiment of using this exotic. You can use other exotics than using this one. And you can see here I shot down the box and I took down the Vex. And then we're going to proceed to the next room. So now there is a Minotaur avoid one, and there's a couple of goblins and Vex, so highly recommend you take it down. And of course these little robots will help you shoot down the ads, and of course the boss, which you will see very soon. So once you take down all these goblins, then you can proceed to the next room. So now what I'm going to do is use my Witherhoard to take down some goblins from far away. Depending how many ads you kill, a Cyclops will spawn, and that's when I will be using my grenade launcher to take it down quickly as possible. Now the Cyclops will spawn, so I did a body shot, and I pull back since it can kill you one shot. So once I do kill the Cyclops, then I proceed and take down the other ads. Here I was trying to shoot down the goblins. They were like all the way from the left side, but it didn't work out too much. Now there is an anti-barrier champion. Decided to use my overshield and then try to take down the barrier champion. You can take it down with your pulse rifle or any anti-barrier weapon. So once I take it down, I use my sword and decide to do DPS quickly. So now we did that. I decided to get some ammo shut down the box to free the robots that were stuck in the little box. Another thing I like to mention is when ads or anything damages you, your overshield will not regenerate back its full health. It will still stay the same. So you can see here I was trying to run, but because I was on shield still, I couldn't run, I couldn't sprint, so I was waiting for the shield to go away. Now we're gonna take down the Void Minotaur and we're gonna proceed to the next room. Now the next room is gonna be the final boss. So what I like to do is just take down a couple of goblins and of course the sniper or the hobgoblins. And then a wave of ads will spawn very soon. And now we're gonna take down this Vex. Now this Vex likes to teleport and they do a lot of void damage. Highly recommend you take it down as quickly as possible. You can see here I pulled back since my health was going low. So definitely be careful with those Vex. Make sure you take them down with a high DPS weapon. You don't want to mess around with them. They do like to use these attacks where they can push you. And they like to shoot a massive void at you as well. So yeah, I definitely recommend you take it down quickly, but be careful. You don't want to mess around with that Vex. So now the boss Hydra is gonna spawn. And I decided to multitask. So there is a couple of champions that will be spawning, and we're going to stay here and bait the champions to walk towards us so we can do damage to it and not worry too much about the Hydra shooting us. Now I decided to use body shot on the Witherhoard, and we're going to take down these goblins that do walk towards you, and they will try to kill you, especially when you kill them. There will be an arc pull, which I highly recommend you stay away. So I was trying to do some damage with the Hydra so it could teleport back. And now we're going to deal with the Overload Champion, which it will push you, and you can throw your nade and stun it. And of course you can get your nade back since we have an artifact mod where you can get your nade back when champions are stunned. Well, only Overload, not anti-barriers. Anti-barriers, it doesn't work with the mod that we have. So once you do a body shot with the Hydra, depending on the damage, then another wave of ads will spawn and a champion will spawn very soon. We're gonna take down these hobgoblins as much as possible. And of course we're going to wait for another champion to spawn and we're going to bait it to walk towards us so we can throw our nade and then use our sword. So I was multitasking. I was using my grenade launcher and of course taking down the goblins and keeping an eye of when the Overload Champion will push. So it did push, and I say at the same time I killed the boss and I killed the Overload Champion. So once I did that, I took down the remaining ads, the remaining goblins, and then I waited for the arc pull to go away, but I got a little impatient. And there you go guys, finally beat the Legend Lost sector. So thank you so much for watching. I'm still grinding, trying to get the stasis upgrades for my warlock and titan, so it's gonna take a while for me to upload some videos this week. So I'll try my best to get that done, since getting the stasis mods is really grindy. So videos this week would be very slow. And I'll try to do master when I'm high level enough, high power level enough. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.